Brace yourself for the most turbulent, power-packed motorsport in the world. Never before in any program could you witness such devastating propulsion, massive convulsive force as on Challenge of Power. Multi-engine drag rails, high-torque four-wheel drive, air-launching monster trucks, and incredible two-wheel drive. As Hart Productions presents the World Championship Pulling Series and Monster Truck Challenge Series. Witness the reverberating excitement behind the scenes as drivers and machines jump into action. Brace yourself as this week's caravan of trucks and tractors assaults your senses on Challenge of Power. Tomah, Wisconsin is a small town with a population of only 7,000, but it is a mecca for tens of thousands of pulling fans. Once a year, Tomah hosts the #1 event on the Copenhagen Skoal pulling circuit. It's the granddaddy of all pulls. From the heartland of America, the Budweiser, Wisconsin Dairyland Grand National Tractor Pull. Tomah has the only permanent three-track pulling facility in the world. For the fans, that means a full 3 days of fun featuring 5 shows with simultaneous pulling action on all 3 tracks. At Tomah, you can get more gear-shattering, fire-breathing truck and tractor thrills in 1 weekend than most fans get in a year. Every class of pulling machine is here, from the 1,800-pound minis to the 9,200-pound super-modified pulling rails, 4-wheel drive trucks, 2-wheel drive trucks, and the Pro Stock smokers. More pure horsepower than any single pulling event in the world. As the NTPA-sanctioned trucks and tractors line up for the show, you can see all the big guns are here. The roster of pullers entered this weekend reads like a who's who of tractor and truck pulling. Neil Gettinger, last year's hands-down champion in the Super Stock Smokers, is in Tomah to defend his crown. The modified class will feature the likes of Fred Freeman with Mean Miss Creeder, Dave Walsh in the Irish Challenger, and Steve Jaski in Miller Lite. 1987 NTPA champion Tim Engler will be here debuting a revolutionary new rig. The 88 edition of Mission Impossible carries an incredible powertrain of 7 engines. Tim continues to be on the cutting edge of the sport with the first super-modified drag rail tractor in history to break the 6-engine standard. Scott Johnson is breaking new ground in the 4x4 class with the brand-new custom-designed Oklahoma Showdown. Scott and his brother's newest design truck is a good example of how far the pulling sport has brought this 4x4 division into the world of performance. The Oklahoma Showdown is surely one of a kind. All the 2-wheel drive superstars come to Tomah. Chris Holdorf is ready to eat any Chevy alive with his Florida Cracker. Tom Arps is ready to run his Black Widow, along with Jim Brockman in the Kodiak In-Law Outlaw. Ken Lamont's Midnight Express may look the same, but this year's Choo Choo custom-sponsored 2-wheel drive has many improvements. A few body changes, updated motor, and onboard computer puts Ken in one of the hottest 2-wheel drives on the circuit. This weekend at Tomah, the fans will see the future of pulling. These machines are the ultimate in state-of-the-art technology, and you can bet the other teams will be working hard over the next months to keep up with the power and engineering advances made by Engler, Johnson, and Lamont. This evolution of power is what pulling's all about. The quest for the ultimate machine is what has transformed souped-up farm implements into these monster powerhouses in just 2 decades. We'll be right back with the battle of the big 9200 modifieds after this.
Budweiser invites you to Tomah, Wisconsin, July 7th through the 9th, 1989, for the Wisconsin Dairyland Grand National Class A Tractor Pull, the nation's #1 pull. 3 pull tracks, evening pulls at 7, afternoon pulls Saturday and Sunday at 1. See the world-famous Budweiser Clydesdales, flea market, arts and crafts exhibits. The Budweiser Wisconsin Dairyland Grand National Class A Tractor Pull in Tomah, Wisconsin, July 7th through the 9th, 1989.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to Challenge of Power. I'm Dave Grimm, and we're coming to you today from Tomah, Wisconsin, site of the Budweiser Wisconsin Dairyland Grand National Tractor and Truck Pull on the NTPA Copenhagen Skull Pulling Circuit. We've got over 25,000 people jammed into the Monroe County Fairgrounds for the nation's #1 pulling event, and it's going to be a whopper, no question about it. So let's go to the action right now. When it comes to modified tractor pulling in the state of Iowa, here's one of Iowa's best, Troy Warshkow. It'll be a father-son combination this afternoon. Troy running a single Allison. His dad will be back later on with Top Gun, the twin Allison. Let's see what Troy Warshkow can do. After some handling problems off the line, he picked that front end up and finally got it all straightened out. And this twin-injected Allison came to life. And you can see he's going to be somewhere around the 235-foot mark, a respectable run. But when you're competing against all of these 4, 5, 6, and 7-engine tractors today, it's tough for the single Allison.
Our next puller has doubled up on the big 12-cylinder fighter plane engine. His name is Wayne Longnecker, and he's known as a master Allison mechanic.
Wayne Longnecker out of Cambridge, Iowa, the River Rat, one of the most sophisticated engine builders for Allisons in the country today. A lot of the drivers buy his engines. They are good, and let's see what he can do. Wayne Longnecker, River Rat, picking them up and laying them down. An excellent run. And you can see 3,400 cubic inches of power coming off the line. A good run for Wayne.
We'll be back with more action as the 9200 modifieds continue.
If one is good, 2 must be better. And look who's coming up. Ron Warshkow from Iowa Falls, Iowa, the senior partner of the father and son team, the Warshkows. He calls it Top Gun. He built this tractor a year ago. 2 Allisons setting side by side. Each engine is 1,710 cubic inches. That makes it 3,420 cubic inches altogether. Now, there's no V8 combination here today, including Tim Engler's, which will equal the cubic inches here. However, where the Allisons have a tough time is the RPMs out of the engine. However, they don't have the money tied up in a tractor like they do with 5, 6, or 7 Chevrolets. They like these Allisons. They're dependable engines. There aren't many of them left in the country anymore. Ron Warshkow, listen to this engine come to life. Top Gun. Oh, boy, and something has come apart on Top Gun. He came off the line. You can see the heat billowing out of these Allison aircraft engines. And with these injected Allisons, you got to be looking at somewhere around 2,500 horsepower apiece, or 5,000 horsepower altogether. A tough break here today for Top Gun. He will make history here this afternoon at Tomah, Wisconsin. The first time that 7 blown Chevrolet engines has ever been run here on the track at Tomah, Wisconsin. The driver, Tim Engler, who last year tore up the circuit for Grand National Circuit Championship on the Copenhagen Skull Circuit with 5 Aries, has made a big change this year, has switched from 5 Aries to 7 Chevrolets. This is worth the price of admission alone, and he's got the folks standing here in Wisconsin at the Budweiser Wisconsin Dairyland National. Here we go now. He backs it up. 10,000 horsepower. 7 Chevrolets. They like it here as these engines come to life. You can see the engine setting transversely. Here he goes. Timmy Engler. Right by our ESPN camera position here at the end of the track. And what a great run here today. Well, they like him here in Tomah. He records our first full pull this afternoon. Tim Engler, 7 Chevrolets, really coming to life. And here he is, ladies and gentlemen, Tim Engler. And wow, that was a blast of horsepower right out the back door. Now, congratulations on a good run. You got to feel happy.
Yeah, we are. I think the track's going to dry out, and there'll be quite a few more add to the pull-off, but right now we're real fortunate. We was the first one to get out, and we're looking forward to that pull-off.
Did you have any problems at all on your run?
Well, not really. I had to hit the brake just a little bit, but it was really pretty good. We're running the motors real rich to try to hook it up, and we just about have not quite fast enough gear for the horsepower we have in this class. So we're real fortunate to get out right now, and we're looking forward to the pull-off.
Now, I noticed the big wheelie. Was that intended?
Well, really, we need to get the front end up. The front end of this tractor weighs about 400 pounds more than our old tractor, so we got to get it up to make it work.
Congratulations. Tim Engler makes the first full pull. He thinks there'll be more. We may have a pull-off. We'll wait and see what happens.
Art Arfons will be up next in his jet turbine-powered Green Monster. We'll see if he can match Tim Engler's full pull after this message.
Arfons, the legend out at the Bonneville Salt Flats, now pulling here in Tomah with 2 turbine engines side by side. He calls it the Green Monster. And when he had his cars at the Bonneville Salt Flats, they were called the Green Monster as well. A real gentleman of the sport. They like him here in Tomah. Well, he's got a clear track in front of him right now. Now he's up to speed. Watch those tires burn. Oh, he's light on the front.
We've got a pull-off as Art Arfons takes the Green Monster all the way. Let's go to Dave at trackside.
He's got a big smile on his face, and I don't blame him. Art Arfons looking so tough here in Tomah. Art, glad to have you here.
Oh, I'm glad to be here.
Well, after you did so well in the 7,000-pound modified, now you're looking tough in the 9, and you've already taken it out the back door for a full pull. You've got to be pleased with the run.
I was really wondering if I was out. It pulled so hard.
Well, it looks like you are. Looked like the front end came up pretty high. Was that by design?
No, I think we can move one way, Doug.
3 more teams have a chance to make the pull-off. Up next, the Irish Challenger.
In making only his 2nd appearance in the last year, here's the father of the Walsh brothers team, John Sr. From just down the road here at Tomah, a place called Boston, Wisconsin. They are bringing to the line now 5 575 cubic inch Aries engines. He won a previous class here in Tomah, and boy, he'd like to make it 2 in a row. He needs a full pull to tie. We already have 2 full pulls here this afternoon, Engler and Arfons, and the Walshes would love the roar of the crowd to go up from the Budweiser pull. So John Walsh Sr. out of Boston, Wisconsin comes off the line. Here he goes.
The Irish Challenger comes up short at 234.3 feet.
John, this was not the kind of run you wanted to make in front of the home state fans, was it?
That's right. I had 2 motors on my left side quit. 2 motors on the left-hand side quit on me going down.
Any idea what might have happened?
I really don't know yet. We'll check it out.
Well, I tell you, he's sort of modest here, but I tell you, he loves to bend the throttle here on the tracks at Tomah. We've already got 2 full pulls here this afternoon, and look for fast Freddie Freeman to do likewise and make a full run.
Fred Freeman has been a powerhouse in the modified class for many years, and the mean mistreater is always a strong contender in any event. Fred's machine was designed by Tim Engler, the man he's trying to outrun today. Let's see if Fred can make it to the pull-off. A good run for Fred Freeman and the mean mistreater, 285.2 feet, but not enough to stay alive in Tomah.
Fred Freeman from Wadesville, Indiana. Fred, you were expected to make a full pull. That's just how confident most of the people were at this end of the track, but you came up short. Looks like it'll put you in third place right now.
Well, Dave, I had to ride my right brake quite a bit, and I think that hurt me a lot, but I'll be satisfied with that pull. At least I don't have to run again.
Well, still, congratulations on a fine effort this afternoon.
Thank you, Dave. I'm well satisfied with that.
Fred Freeman, Wadesville, Indiana, one of the top competitors on the Copenhagen Skoal NTPA circuit. Steve Jaske, who a week ago won twice with his modified dragster blazing Bison at Cayuga, Canada. And boy, he'd like to win here today. He's got a good shot to make a full pull. We already have Tim Engler and Art Arfons with full pulls here this afternoon. This would make it 3. He pulls up to a tight hitch. Watch the butterflies open up. They've given him the green flag. He'll burn about 20 gallons of alcohol on this run. Steve Jaske.
Steve Jaske makes it to the pull-off with power left to burn. Dave is with Steve now at trackside.
Well, when you look down your scorecard and you start adding them up, you always got to look to Steve Jaske for a full pull. And you didn't let the fans down here this afternoon in your home state of Tomah, Wisconsin. We're going to ask you to take off your helmet so everybody can see your smiling face here today, because now you make it 3 out the back door. And what a pull-off this is going to be.
Yeah, we got 3 of the best tractors in the country here, Dave. Back more than that, any one of 10 guys can win it, and we're real happy to be in the pull-off. Hopefully luck will be on our side, and we'll do well.
In the last week, your tractor has never run better.
Yeah, we've been running real good. We're on top of our game. We got the balance down pretty good. Tractor brakes have been working good, bringing the tractor back around, and we're real happy. We're hoping for a good pull on the pull-off.
All right, I noticed that the frame really flexes. Is this by design?
No, not really. It probably flexes a little bit too much, Dave. We're in the process of building a new frame, but we're trying to compete every weekend. It doesn't get time to get it completely done, but this baby's been running for 2 years and still running good, so we're happy with it.
Well, whatever it is, you sure got it tuned in. Good luck in the pull-off.
Thank you, Dave.
All right, Steve Jaske will make it 3 in the pull-off here this afternoon at Tomah. That concludes our first round of competition here in the 9,200-pound modified dragster tractor class. But we've got 3 full pulls, and we'll be right back with the pull-off right after this commercial message.
The 1988 hottest new show on the air, Challenge of Power. As the caravan of NTPA-sanctioned trucks and tractors roll into your town, you can be a part and witness the untamed action of a Hart production event. For the first time ever, you can see the United States pull against the big boys from Canada and Europe. That's right, January 13th, 14th, and 15th. It's world-class pulling at the 16th Annual Indy Super Pull. Coming from all over the world, you'll see pro stockers, super stock, 2-wheel drives, and 4-wheel drives. Don't look back now. It's the multi-engine drag rails from the 3- and 4-engine 7,200-pound class to the 9,200-pound 6- to 7-engine monsters. Don't miss the most talked about pulling event in history, the world-class Indy Super Pull. Order your tickets today. Call 317-927-1482. Indiana State Fairgrounds, Indianapolis, Indiana. Be there.
This is going to be a knockdown, drag-out battle this afternoon as we bring back 3 of the biggest names in pulling in the history of the sport. One being the grand old man, Art Arfons, 2 years ago started out in the sport. In fact, one of his early pulls was here at Tomah. He started out with a single turbine. However, he's now got 2 turbines and will go against this man right here, Tim Engler, who set the Well, I'll tell you, he set the earth to shaking in 1987 as he ran 5 Aries engines and was the first man ever in the history of the sport to win all 4 classes in the modified division on the NTPA Copenhagen Skoal circuit. But 5 Aries are gone, and now for 1988, 7 Chevrolet. Here he goes, Tim Engler. And Tim Engler, you can see, made a good run. Came to the left-hand side of the track, gave it one wrap as he got close to the white line, and then decided, no, I don't want to go out of bounds on this run. That is going to be a tough one to beat here this afternoon. Our bonds will be up next, followed by Steve Jaske and the Miller High Life team from right here in Wisconsin. Well, this tractor's a lot more quiet, and now he's going to try to beat the young buck on the circuit, Tim Engler. Here's Art Arfons from Akron, Ohio, will fire up these 2 T64 General Electric turbine engines. Got to be looking at somewhere around 6,000 to 7,000 horsepower, going up against Engler's 10,000 horsepower. But Art Arfons knows how to pull, and if he can get that front end up in the air, get that horsepower transferred to the rear end of the tractor, he has a shot to beat Engler here this afternoon. Watch the fire now come out of these engines as he builds the RPMs, builds the horsepower. He's ready to leave the line, rather. Got to beat Engler. Jaske's right behind him here in the pull-off as well. Let's see what he can do. Got over to the right-hand side of the track. It looks like he's come up a little short here this afternoon. He had to apply that left brake to keep it from going out of bounds. He wanted to keep it between the white lines. And the Busch Green Monster has looked super strong once again here at Tomah in 1988. But here comes the guy that's on a hot streak. A week ago, as we indicated before, he won both tractor classes over Tim Engler at Cayuga International Speedway in Canada. And now the Miller High Life team would like to make it 3 in a row over Tim Engler. Watch these 5 Aries. Comes to life. Here he goes, Steve Jaske.
Steve Jaske standing up to see if he's out of bounds. With his front tire resting on the line, his run will count. He's within inches of Engler's mark, and the judges will have to call it. It's official. Steve Jaske has beaten out Tim Engler by a mere 3/10 of a foot.
Well, after all of the rain that we had here at Tomah, the skies have cleared, and it's never been a bluer day, or a clear day, I should say, than for Steve Jaske, who beat a couple of good pullers out there today in a 3-way pull-off. Congratulations, Steve.
Thank you very much, Dave. There's no finer competitors and gentlemen in the sport than Tim Engler and Art Arfons, and it was just a pleasure being the pull-off with them, and we were lucky enough to come out ahead.
And what close competition. Man, we had to wait for the scorekeeper to come on here to let everybody know. This is about as close I've ever seen it.
I think it's about probably the closest I've ever won one, and it's, like I say, anytime you can beat Tim either by a 1/10 of an inch or whatever, just to be within 10 feet of Tim Engler, who's the 4-time Grand National champion, it's something to be proud of.
Congratulations.
Thank you, Dave.
And that's the way it finishes. Steve Jaske beats Tim Engler by 3/10 of a foot here this afternoon in the 9,200-pound modified dragster tractor class. Well, it's been great pulling here in Tomah, Wisconsin, site of the 1988 Budweiser, Wisconsin Dairyland Grand National Tractor and Truck Pull. I hope you've enjoyed the competition. I'm Dave Grimm. For Challenge of Power, see you next time.